What's up, guys? So I decided that this weekend I'm going to do something a little bit differently than I normally do. It's going to be a 2-day bike packing trip on the Kettle Crest Range, which is in the northeast corner of Washington, just outside of Kettle Falls. It's going to be a 30-mile out and back, so 30 miles north on the Kettle Crest Trail and terminating at Deer Creek Summit Campground. And then I'm going to stay overnight at the campground there, and then back the way I came, south another 30 miles back to the trailhead, which is at Sherman Pass off Highway 20. So today I'm going to be going over all the stuff that I'm going to bring and kind of show you guys how I'm packing and what I'm doing. And yeah, this is, like I said, going to be my first bike packing trip. Doing a little bit differently than I normally see people doing. Normally, this is the bike I'm going to be taking, by the way. Normally you see people packing the luggage and gear on the bicycle itself. I, on the other hand, for this trip, I'm actually just going to be wearing everything on my back. So this is the pack I'm bringing. It's not very big, as you can see, and it only weighs about 17 pounds right now. So it's fully loaded, it's ready to go, and I'm just gonna take all the items out one by one and kind of share with you guys what I'm gonna bring. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, I don't have to take this out. This here is gonna be my sleeping pad. This is a Thermarest Z Lite sleeping pad. It's just foam, super light. It's what a lot of the thru hikers carried when I ran into the thru hikers on the Pacific Crest Trail. So I got that strapped to the bottom of my bag. And if we open her up here, so minimalist wipes, just a few wipes just to get me by. You want to have a comfortable bum when you're doing these rides, so this is kind of like contributing to my overall comfort. I could use a leaf, but you know, it's really nice to have the wipes, and they don't really weigh anything or take up very much space. So I got three wipes in here, so hopefully I don't have to go more than 3 times. There's that. I am going to be using GPS navigation through trail forks to navigate where I am on the trail, but I also have a printed out map, so just in case, you know, something goes wrong with my electronic equipment, that I can still navigate without having to use the GPS. So weighs nothing, takes up no space, might as well bring it. Got a little Neosporin for any cuts and scrapes that I might get. That's pretty much the extent of my medical supplies right here. Is this, and I've got 4 ibuprofens. So there's the medical kit right there. Let's see, I've got a little fire starter that my grandma made me. This is basically just an egg carton cut out, and she stuffed it with dryer lint there and used paraffin wax. These work really good, super cheap and easy to make, and they do burn for a long time, so it's always nice to have a fire. I don't know if I'll end up making one or not, but again, super light, takes up minimal space, and it'd be a huge benefit to have a fire, and also it would be very kind of relaxing, you know, like when you're camping I'm doing this alone, so when you're camping out by yourself in the middle of the woods, it can be kind of creepy. It's always nice to have a fire, so bringing that just in case. Another kind of, I would say, emergency item, I got a couple of hand warmers here, and this is in case I get cold at night. Now, I'm not bringing very much in the way of a sleeping bag. I'll show you my sleeping bag, but it's a really thin sleeping bag, super small, super light, and so in case I do get kind of cold at night, I can always throw a couple of these in my socks or wherever else on my body that I'm getting cold. And these last a long time and they'll keep me warm through the night. Another little emergency item, super glue. Just a tiny little bottle. You never know. Super glue. You would need to join anything together. I've got it. And that's it for here. This is just like a little net on the outside of the bag, real handy for stuff that you want easy access to. I'm going to kind of leave this open, so while I'm out on trail, if I figure out that there's things that are inside the bag that I want to carry on the outside, I can always shove them in this little net on the outside of the bag. And I got a pair of glasses here, a pair of sunglasses. Let's dive into the outer main pouch. There's all my food. So it's gonna be, like I said, a 2-day trip. I'm expecting it to take probably about between 6 and 8 hours, including resting and eating and everything, to actually bike from one side of the trail to the other, that full 30 miles. So I'm hoping that this is going to be enough food to keep me going for the whole trip. We'll see. I just remember when I was doing my Pacific Crest Trail hike that I had a lot more food than I needed. This still might be more food than I need, I don't know, but we'll find out. I don't think I'll go hungry. And inside I've got some dried peaches and some dried figs. I've got a little Star-Kissed 100-calorie tuna salad pack. Get some protein there. I've got some chocolate-covered coffee beans. Nice for a little morning snack, or I don't know. It's nice to have a little caffeine since I'm not actually bringing coffee with me. Have some coffee beans there. My favorite candy bar, Babe Ruth. These things always seem to give me a lot of energy when I'm riding, so I usually down one of these before a big ride. I've got some salami, so instead of jerky, I decided to go with salami. I don't know, I think it's a bit tastier, a bit easier on the digestion, on the stomach than jerky. I'm going to try to be drinking a lot of water while I'm eating, especially while I'm actually riding the trail, and not, at camp. But yeah, salami, good stuff. It's probably about, I don't know, a quarter pound of salami here or something. It's a lot of salami. I don't know if I need this much, but I don't know. It looks really good and it smells really good, so I'm looking forward to eating that on the trail. And finally, we got some cashews and some almonds, and that's pretty much it. That's all the food that I'm bringing for the trip. It's not very much, but I think it'll keep me going. I'm gonna make sure that I'm well fed and well hydrated and everything before I leave, and yeah, we'll see how this does. I mean, it's a lot more important to have water and be well hydrated than it is to obviously to have food. They say, the rule is survive 3 days without water, 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. So if I eat up all my food and I'm a little bit hungry on the way back, no big deal. I can eat when I get back. So there's all that. Now I got my clothes. I'm gonna have the clothes that I'm gonna be wearing. These are my extra clothes. So this is what I'm gonna be wearing at night or when I'm off the bike. So I got some long johns here, some kind of thin ones. They should keep my legs warm a little bit in the sleeping bag. I've got an ultralight rain jacket here. This is the new Gore-Tex material. I'm not sure what they call it. I think it's their Flight series, the North Face. But yeah, it's just a North Face Gore-Tex jacket, and super light, super breathable and comfortable. So I don't expect that it's gonna rain, but it's always nice to have, you know, a rain shell just in case, or when I'm camped out, if there's a lot of bugs getting at me, I could always throw my rain shell on and keep the bugs off me. And then also for sleeping, I got a beanie. Goes a long way to keep you warm if you have a beanie, and also a neck warmer. And so I can have the beanie, the neck warmer, I can pull this up over my face and keep everything warm. Like I said, I don't have the warmest sleeping bag or sleeping setup, so I think this stuff will go a long way to keeping me comfortable at night while I'm sleeping. And that's pretty much it for the extra clothes. Got a little clothes stuff sack right here that I keep it all in. Next up, that is my hammock. This is what I'm going to be sleeping in at night. Super small, ultralight hammock, and I've got no rain fly or mosquito net or anything else. I'm just gonna, this is basically just for comfort, so I don't have to sleep on the ground. Yeah, there's not much else to say about it. I'm not expecting any rain. The forecast doesn't call for any rain. It's supposed to be really nice. Mid 80s during the day. It's pretty high elevation, so it might get down around 40 at night, not sure. But if it does happen to rain, I could always use the hammock and rig it up at overhead to keep the rain off me. So it can, you know, it can take on a couple of different uses. But yep, got this just for comfort and sleeping at night. And I am gonna put the sleeping pad underneath me on the hammock, because when you are hammocking, tend to lose a lot of heat from your backside, believe it or not. So yep, gonna combine the sleeping pad with the hammock, and hopefully that'll keep me warm. Alright, on to, okay, let's go on to the main pouch here. Alright, in the top of my bag I've got, this is one of my favorite camping items ever. Highly recommend one of these to anybody who's doing backpacking or camping. This is a First Need XLE water purifier, so it's about 150 bucks, I think, maybe 100 on Amazon. But it's a really, really nice purifier. And they say that this is supposed to actually purify basically all the germs out, including viruses, bacteria, viruses, whatever it may be. This is supposed to get rid of everything. Now, I have tested this out a little bit. I've actually been able to filter beer into water through one of these, so I know that it works well. But how it works is just, it's got this little hose attached to it here. You throw this little piece in the water, it's got a little floaty on there. It's got a little filter to filter out the big stuff right there. Toss this in the water, and then you got this cover. Take this cover off. You screw your water bottle or whatever else you're going to use. You can, if you want, screw it into here. It's got a couple of different sizes there, and the water comes out of that little spout there. So basically throw the end in the water, and this is your pump here. And it might actually still have some water in it. Oh, look at that, still has water from the last time I used it. And that's how that works. Simple, easy, effective, very effective. And it doesn't weigh much more than, 12 ounces of water itself. So instead of carrying a lot of water, I like to carry one of these. You can literally get water from any source with this, so that's what I really like about it. Speaking of water. Alright, what else do we got here? This is a fanny pack that I wear typically when I'm out on a ride without any other gear. This is just my bare essentials for the ride. It's got tools and you know, spare stuff, spare tube, patch kit. It's got a bunch of different stuff in here. I'll go ahead and open it up and show you what's inside. So I don't usually carry this on normal rides, but I'm carrying it this time. We got a, hey, how's it going, Avery? We got a electrical tape right here. Oh, we got kids invasion, kids invasion. What's going on, guys? I'm making a video. I'm going over this stuff here. Got a headlamp right here. Just a little cheap Ozark Trail one. Super important for the trail at night. Got the patch kit, so in case I, need to patch a tube. Just normal stuff. Spare tube. I do run tubes, by the way. I don't do tubeless. Let's see what else we got. Tire levers. Little channel locks. I actually haven't had to use these yet, but I think they would come in real handy for whatever. Any type of situation where you really need to grip on something, cable or whatever. Nice to have a little pair of channel locks like this.
You want to see?
Oh yeah, just a minute, man. I'm making a video. And got a little multi-tool here. This is the Crank Brothers, the M17 tool. So it's really handy. You got all sorts of little gizmos in there. Some Tri-Flow lubricant. And bike pump. Love this little bike pump. A little Alene. It's got the hose that's actually inside of it. You unscrew it and it comes out like that. You screw it in the other end, and it's got Schrader or Presta either way. So really cool little deal there. Super compact, super lightweight, and it works great. I've actually pumped up a shock with this, believe it or not, to like, shoot, it must have been like almost 300 psi, so this thing is no joke. And that's pretty much it. I've got kind of a part of emergency kit, little compass, and I've got a couple of zip ties in here. So that's that. Oh yeah, part of the clothing, ultralight down jacket, also for sleeping or evening time, so help keep me warm at night there. This is my sleeping bag. It's got this at Walmart, believe it or not. It's a Ozark Trail Cocoon 200. It says on here that it's supposed to be rated to 32 degrees Fahrenheit, but I think that's really pushing it. 32 degrees is going to be too cold for something like this. I've had this, I've actually used this when it was below, around 40 degrees, and I did get cold. That's why I'm bringing all these other clothing items. So we'll see. I'll let you guys know how warm this ends up keeping me. But it's super small, super light, super compact, and it does have duck down inside of it. So it's a pretty good bag. I think I picked this up for like $60 at Walmart. So it's kind of a steal. And that's pretty much it, except for when I go to camera gear. We'll go to camera gear. So I've got this Palm gear. It's got 10,400 megawatt hours. I think that's what that stands for, megawatt hours maybe. MAH capacity. This thing will keep my camera stuff going hopefully for the whole trip. Normally when I go on really long rides, this thing keeps my gimbal going, recharges my GoPro batteries, and recharges my phones and everything. And I only use about half of the battery of this in like a 3-hour period, so, or more like a 5-hour period. So I'm thinking this will keep me going the whole time. Again, we'll find out, because it's going to be probably about 12 hours of footage that I'm going to try to get on this ride. And then that's pretty much it. For water, I'm bringing a bladder with a little hose on there. And I'm going to carry about 1.5 liters. The bladder holds 2 liters. I'm gonna start by carrying a liter, liter and a half. See how it goes. According to the Washington Trail Association website, the Kettle Crest Trail has a tapped spring every 6 miles or so, which is pretty freaking cool. I don't really know of very many other trails that actually have tapped springs that close together, you know. So I shouldn't have a problem with water, but we'll see. If I do find myself in a situation where I need water, which I don't think it's going to happen, I don't think I'm going to get that dehydrated and dry up like a prune, but I can always go off trail and actually go down. There's a lot of spur trails coming off the Kettle Crest, and I'll be able to go down and find water. Let's see here. The only other thing I'm bringing in my pack is this. This is a Ruger LCR, and it's a little 22 Magnum. Basically, just for a little peace of mind when I'm on the trail, when I'm you know, camping out at night, and I'm getting spooked out by the crazy noises. I'll be able to have this nearby. I had a choice between bringing this and bear spray. I opted for the gun just because it's so small, it's so light. This thing only weighs, I think I weighed this thing in at like 1.5 pounds. So pretty cool little gun. It's got a composite, the whole handle and the rear part of it is composite. It's not even steel, so a cool little gun there. And that's basically it. I've got a couple Lara bars and a little more food in here and my little snack packs on the side for when I'm riding. That's pretty much it, except for the camera gear. So for the GoPro, I've got 2 extra GoPro batteries here with a little charger. So I can actually run a cord from the charger to the palm charger and charge my GoPro batteries while I'm riding on the trail, which is really cool. I'm gonna bring a lighter for fire. Oh, you alright, buddy? Yeah. Careful there. You okay? Yeah. Okay, good.
That was my screen.
Alright, and then I got 2 extra SD cards. I've got a 64 gigabyte SD card in there right now, and these are 2 32 gig SD cards. I do usually like to record in 4K, but 4K just takes up way too much space on the SD cards, and I'm not going to be able to get as much hours of footage as I need in 4K. So I am lowering the quality to 1080p, which is still really good, and so that way I should be able to get about 4 hours of footage per 32 gigabyte SD card. So I should have plenty of memory to capture all the footage from the trip. And then I've just got some cords and various things in here, and of course the chest strap. So that pretty much sums it up. That's all the gear I'm bringing. I'll make another video to kind of conclude after I get back from the trip and kind of go over what worked, what didn't work, what I need to do next time, and we'll see. But it should be a really fun 2-day trip. It's gonna be, like I said, 30 miles out the first day, camp out, 30 miles back the second day. The Kettle Crest is beautiful. I have been up there before. It pretty much maintains its elevation at around 7,000 feet. There's about 8,000 feet of elevation gain throughout the whole length of the trail. So it's going to be a big day. It's going to be two big days in a row, but we'll see. The goal is to make it from Sherman Pass, north on the Kettle Crest, all the way to the terminus, which is Deer Creek Summit. But we'll see how that turns out. I'm just going to go as far as I can and then camp out. If I get to the end, that's great. If I don't, that's fine too. I'll just camp out and then come back the next day. So look forward to it, and looking forward to having you guys along for the ride. See you then. Yeah.